going to be.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Adam, back at you once again for hashtag rebound. It's day 39 of the comeback story of how I ended up homeless in Jamestown, New York, and now I'm starting life over again down in Houston, Texas. And, number one, this is not going to turn into a bicycling channel on YouTube. Not at all. But you're going to see a lot of that over and over this video and some more videos before I jump into some other things. And there are reasons for that. It's a big part of my life right now. And it's my only form of transportation. Other than walking and occasionally borrowing a vehicle, neither of which I really want to do right now. I'm putting a lot of time and effort and funds into getting my bicycle game really strong right now. And it's not because I'm being frivolous, it's because I need my transportation to be reliable. In fact, just this last week I spent some good money on a good set of replacement tires. Some Continental puncture-resistant Kevlar belted tires that I've been riding on this bike for years. And I was prompted to do that because I noticed a slight bulge in the sidewall of my rear tire. And knowing that the tires on this bike are over 7 years old, that concerned me. But I just kind of set it off to the side. I got the tires arrived, but I still figured I'll just ride this tire until, the wheels fall off, pun intended. And Friday afternoon, just as I was about to leave for the bakery, I'm all suited up, I've got my shoes and helmet on, everything's ready to go. I come out to the garage and my bicycle has a flat tire. And I was a little upset, not knowing the source but having my suspicions. When I grabbed a pump and started putting air in the tire, the leak wasn't a slow leak, it was coming right out. And so my dumbass went and replaced the inner tube without bothering to put one of the new tires on. And I was just about to ride away when I saw the inner tube popping out of the side of the tire, and it was about to explode.
Oh shit! Oh man, that's it.
But I was able to reach over and grab the valve stem and let all the air out just in time before that happened.
Take the fucking air out.
So as you can see, that right there, that little bit of a split in the sidewall of your tire can become a major problem when you're out on the road. And the tire was kind of bulging out. It's kind of hard to fake it, but I had this like Last week, I noticed that it was just bulging out a little bit, but there was no split in the sidewall of the tire. I just noticed this little bump. It looked pretty much like that. And so I ordered new tires knowing that that is going to be a problem really soon. Didn't really know how soon it was going to be, but that's all it took to put my Friday afternoon in a little bit of chaos. So you can actually fix that in an emergency situation out on the side of the road by putting a piece of duct tape on the inside of the tire where the rip in the sidewall is. And chances are, if the rip isn't big, you know, a small tear like that, you would be able to ride 1,000 more miles possibly without any problems popping up from that. It was not due to a brake pad rubbing against the sidewall of the tire. It was due to the tires being old. Those tires are about 7 years old. So, and I have not rode my bike. There was a period of time of at least 5 years where the bike wasn't being ridden. But dry rot and just environmental conditions will wear your tires down just as fast as riding them sometimes. And so it was just time for these tires to go and get some new replacements. And just it was fortunate that it happened in the garage overnight rather than out on the road while I was riding. But like I said, I carry a spare folding tire in my backpack, and I also have a little bit of duct tape and a spare inner tube and patch kits. So I could have fixed this on the side of the road, but it would have been a big pain to do so. And thankfully I was able to fix it here at the house. But I made the mistake of putting the tire back on the bike without checking the inside of the sidewall. I got this tire folded up because I'm about to throw it away and I don't want it to spring open in the trash and get stuck in the garbage can. But so one of the things you want to do if you do get a flat tire, and I did this, but I did it so fast that I didn't see what was going on because I did this so fast, and it was hard to feel that rip from the inside of the tire. But when you get a flat tire, you need to run your hand on both sides of the tire all the way around the bead in the inside of the tire to see if there's anything poking through that tire, like a piece of glass, a thorn, a nail, any kind of thing that could have caused the puncture in the first place, and also feeling the sidewall for any rips or tears in the sidewall of the tire. That would have saved me about 15 minutes because of the heat and just the frustration and knowing that I had to get ready to go to work, and all of a sudden I'm in this like borderline panic attack because now I'm running late and I wasn't even out on the road yet. And so make sure you feel the inside of your tire, because if you go to the trouble of putting a new inner tube in the tire and putting air in your tire, if you didn't remove the thing poking through the tire in the first place that caused the flat, you're just going to be pumping your bike back up to get a flat tire before you even put the wheel on your bike or before you even start to ride. But due to that mistake and some other factors, such as not having a work stand to clamp my bike onto to make working on things easier, I had to go and pull the wheel back off and replace the worn out tire with one of the new tires, put it all back together, all the same while calling into work saying that I was going to be late. And if I had not made the mistake of putting the old tire back on, I wouldn't have even been late to work. Or maybe I would have been 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most. I wouldn't have had to call in. But as it was, it cost me about 20 minutes of time. As I was 15 minutes late getting to work, and since I'm more honest than some, I punch in the clock after I'm dressed and ready to work, not before changing my clothes out of my cycling clothes into my work clothes. But in the end, it was no big deal. Nobody was mad about it. The owner, she was just glad that I was able to take care of things, and things happen, and the people that I'm working with there, they're decent people, and I don't think anybody would give you the stink eye for something like that, especially when you called, you let them know what's going on, and just keep people informed. Every time no big deal, but every time I discover a new problem with the bicycle, it prompts me to do something about it. And I've spent more money than I would want to right now on these issues. And I've bought a few things for the bicycle to make it more enjoyable, more of a want rather than a need. But I keep saying over and over in these videos that I'm playing the long game instead of the short game. And every decision that I make is geared towards what's best in the long run, even if the short term is being sacrificed to some extent. You know, even if I own a vehicle, if I go out and buy a vehicle, I could do it right now, technically speaking. But I'm probably going to have to end up with some sort of jalopy. And what happens when my vehicle has to go to the shop and I still need to get to work? You know, at one point in time, I owned 3 vehicles, and that was never an issue. If money was tight and one of my vehicles needed a repair that was going to cost some money, I could save up for it and schedule that repair when it made sense to do so. But now that I'm down to 1 bicycle, and perhaps maybe if I'm lucky, 1, gas-powered vehicle, like a car or a Jeep or something like that, I'm still going to have to sacrifice groceries and maybe rent sometimes in exchange for a repair job that might come up out of the blue. Just so that I can get to and from my job. It's not the same situation as having multiple vehicles, but that's where the bicycle still comes in as a second form of transportation. 2 bicycles. If I get my bike from Pittsburgh down here, my second bike, that would be even more reliable. If I had both bicycles here in Houston right now, the flat tire would have been a non-issue. I could have just jumped on the other bike and taken off and fixed the flat tire when I have time, which would be today after I record this video. So, there you go. I'm going to spend a few episodes on the cycling aspect of my life, and then I'm going to switch into getting into some of the other things that you guys wanted to hear about. The whole, how did you end up in prison, and some more details about that situation. And you'll also notice that I'm shooting horizontal video now. And that's going to continue because YouTube is where people are generally watching this stuff. And to tell you the truth, I really don't care about TikTok anymore. I have to narrow my focus for a while just to be able to do this. So I'm going to put the time where it generally paid off, and that was YouTube. This is not a bicycling channel. It's more of a what are you up to now channel. It's going to be a little random because life is a little random. And since I'm not a homeless train wreck anymore, a lot of people really don't want to watch this anymore. There were a lot of viewers, like I've been saying all along, that were watching specifically because they love to see people fall flat on their face and make a train wreck out of their lives. And they're not going to be interested anymore when you start to pick yourself back up and come back from that. So I knew that going into this. Even though I had no idea that so many people would start watching these videos after I posted the first 2 or 3 of them to YouTube. Anyway, this is a what have I been up to channel, and what I've been up to for the last 39, 40 something days. It's been getting organized. I've been going through a lot of paperwork, files, both online and offline, and things of that nature, just trying to get more organized with everything in my life. This includes the belongings that I brought with me to Texas. A lot of my camera equipment was damaged in storage, severely damaged. Most of my lenses are in really bad shape. I'm not going to get into the details. It really gets under my skin to think about and talk about how my camera equipment got treated while it was being stored for me. But I'm taking baby steps to go through that. It just gets on it really brings out a lot of emotions with me every time I open up a camera bag and see the extent of damage that was done to my equipment. Aside from that, I've been working really hard. I found a low-paying job at a bakery very fast. Within a week after I started getting serious about looking for a job. And I think I've been working there for about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, since I started that job. But it feels like a lot longer because, you know, as they say, time flies when you're having fun. So just let that sink in for a minute. But aside from the 30 to 35 hours a week spent there, I'm also working on 3 different websites for clients, 2 design jobs. I have 3 websites to build for myself on top of that for my own purposes. And I'm still looking for a UX design job with a software company. And I've been more focused on companies in Houston for that right now. And on top of that, I still have my photography business and the YouTube channel and all the social media outlets. So how does anybody juggle all of that? And the answer is, you don't. You don't juggle all of that. Nobody could do all of that by themselves. Nobody. So I've had to prioritize things, and I'm focusing the most energy outside of the bakery job on projects that will free up my time once they're completed. And that's mainly the 3 websites for my clients plus 2 graphic design jobs for clients. And the websites are by far the most important right now. And one of those website clients keeps giving me little side jobs to go along with it that are going to make me more money, which is great. And I'm really having a good time developing these relationships. But until I can clear all of these things off of my plate, I'm going to have a lot more limited time as to what I can do outside of those hours. And, you know, as usual, I get a couple of retarded trolls making comments about how my YouTube channel is a failure because I'm stuck at 1,500 followers and I'm only posting once a week now. And I could give a flying fuck about what anybody thinks about me, especially at this point in my life and everything that I've been through. I really do not care what you people think, and especially the trolls. And I've never really been the kind of person throughout my life who ever did care what other people think. And it's actually quite freeing to not care what idiots think about my opinions or what I'm doing. And the only reason I'm even mentioning it here right now is because I want the people who do support this channel to realize that no matter what you do, people are going to take a dump on you for it. And so don't let that stop you from doing what you want to do with your life. Don't let that get in the way. Don't let other people's opinions form your own opinion for you. Do what you want to do. Do what you think is right, because no matter what direction you go, someone's not going to like it, and they're going to have something to say. And if you sit there getting worried about what other people think all day long, well, you're just going to stop yourself from doing whatever it was that you were meant to do or whatever it is that you want to do. And the point is, you can't let what other people think dictate your course of action. Don't let these trolls stop you from chasing your dream. Or in my case, I'm not going to let these idiots stop me from building a better life than I had before I was arrested. If this YouTube channel was such a failure that it helped me launch a new design business with 3 clients that are paying me right now before I even had a fucking website for myself. And I'm so busy with that work right now that it's hard for me to get anything else done. And there's a lot of other things that came out of doing this YouTube channel that I can't even list right now, but one of those things on the list was seeing the generosity of people who just wanted to help out and support what I was doing while I was homeless in Jamestown trying to figure out my next move. I mean, a lot of people through the chicken bucket, through the digital chicken bucket, threw in, $5 here, $20 there. People were dropping in more than that, and it was helping me pay for. A lot of it went to Tim Hortons, unfortunately, and in the form of iced coffee and donuts, so that I could sit there and have free Wi-Fi to help me get my things done for the day, and to have, an internet connection when the library wasn't an option on certain days, and when I just needed a change of pace or to be someplace closer than the library, or just for sake of variety. So a lot of people, that came out of doing this YouTube channel. And to be honest, everything has come together so brilliantly right now that I'm just astonished by all of it. And I know that through the grace of God, everything else is going to come together in His due time. The nervous energy that I've been dealing with is slowly shedding away. It's certainly been a lot less pronounced in the last few weeks. And a lot of that's because I've been so busy that it's hard to feel anything but busy and feeling behind on everything. But the nervous energy has taken a back seat a lot these days. The probation officer has been happy, and he's been pretty much off my back because I went out and got a job so fast. Even if it's a low-paying part-time job, I've been saying all along since the day I became homeless that I would take any job just to have a job. And people didn't believe me. Oh, just go out and get a job. Anybody can. I can understand the sentiment of anybody can go out and get a job, because here in Houston right now, if I put in 10 job applications, I'm getting like 3 or 4 interviews out of it and 2 job offers like that. That's Houston. That's not Jamestown, New York. Jamestown, New York is a dead town with nothing going on, and it was a struggle. And there were some other issues going on there. It was definitely a little bit ridiculous at times in terms of just struggling to get by and trying to figure things out. But it was rough. It was very difficult to find a job there, and I'm not the only person who agrees with that. But there were certain aspects of my situation about being put in limbo about where probation was going to allow me to move and live and all that kind of stuff that made it even harder to find a job. Having a bicycle makes it a lot easier right now, because I can go to a job up to 15 miles away without much hassle in terms of getting to work and back. If I had to go 20 miles each way to work, riding 40 miles a day, that would be roughly, 15 minutes, 5 times. That'd be an hour each way, cycling. 1 hour each way to ride a bike to work. Obviously, chances for flat tires and mechanical issues, those kinds of things will increase. But there are things that I can do to mitigate that. For the right amount of money, I would certainly go 20 miles to work and back on a bicycle, no problem. I'd enjoy it. And the 20 miles, 40 miles a day of cycling would put me in race shape. You know, my physical fitness would be through the roof over doing something like that. So I'm not opposed to that. It's just right now I've got a job that's 5 miles away, and it's easy. It's 15 minutes. It takes me longer to get changed into my clothes back and forth to do the bicycle ride and to prepare the bicycle for the different conditions, the nighttime or dark conditions versus light conditions, and for everything else that I'm up against. That takes twice as long as the actual bike riding takes. So I would actually like to go on longer rides, but at the same time, when you get out of work at 2 and you're home at 2:30 at the latest, like, that feels pretty good that you didn't spend another hour of your day commuting. But either way, I would be fine with it. So yeah, the probation officer is happy. He's glad that I went and got a job. The job is laid back. I'm learning things at this bakery that interest me because I love to cook. I might even do some cooking episodes on this channel. Who knows? I've actually used a couple of the recipes that I learned at work, or were reminded of at work, I should say. I picked up a few things to do at home because I was reminded of this or that at work. Once was I made some tres leches coffee creamer. The regular milk, condensed milk, and evaporated milk together with some cinnamon and some vanilla extract is a natural, good tasting coffee creamer. It's, a lot less chemicals in it than that stuff, that pre-made stuff that you buy at the grocery store, the flavored coffee creamers that they have in the dairy section. So this is what I'm doing for coffee creamer from now on. I'm using the 3 milks as the base, a can of evaporated milk, a can of condensed milk, 2 cups of whole milk. It's 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You should probably mix the cinnamon with the condensed milk before you add the rest of the ingredients to get it to blend a little bit better, but the cinnamon's just not going to dissolve. And you can also use those 3 milks as a base for other coffee creamers. You can buy, flavored syrups. You can get concentrated flavor extracts at the grocery stores. I haven't seen the ones that I'm looking for specifically at the grocery store that I go to right now, but at some point I could have like 5 or 6 different coffee creamers that I make on rotation. And so for my cold brew in the morning, I like to have a good amount of creamer. And so I'm doing this from now on because it's more natural than the store-bought stuff, and it takes 5 minutes to make. Working at the bakery reminded me that that's how I used to make my coffee creamer, and I should go back to doing that. And just rebooting your whole life after everything that happened, it's been a little ridiculous. But within a paycheck or two, I will be scouting for and looking for my own place to live, even if it's at the bottom of the barrel of the price range that I can find around here for now. I do have an idea of what's available close to where I am right now, and it's not looking very good for me. But as I move towards the city of Houston and get into the city more and more places are affordable and will fit my price budget. There are just certain filters that aren't available. I'm using Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and a couple of other things to look, and I can't filter specifically for what I'm looking for, and so I have to weed out a lot of the junk that shows up in these search results, and so that's tedious. But once I get serious about it and start actually making calls and booking appointments and those kinds of things, I think it'll, whatever God wants me to have, and I think he's just going to work it out for me, and I'm not going to have to worry about that. Anything can happen, I'm still getting phone calls and job leads to this day for 6-figure jobs every week. But right now, I feel like I'm not going to be successful in landing any of those jobs until we get rid of these scumbag Democrats that have thrown our country and our economy into the toilet. And right now, I've been watching professional friends, people I've known for years and even decades, on LinkedIn. These people are losing their jobs left and right and being cast to the curb. And, these are highly paid professionals in their various fields who are really good at what they do. They were in high demand. These are people who don't have a criminal record or anything going against them that I have right now. And even they are struggling to find work right now and going through a hard time. And, Bidenomics is real. Until you can afford to buy groceries again and until people can find jobs again, we're all screwed. And hopefully this November, things change. But I have a feeling that we're in for a wild ride for the next 6 months as a country. And I have a feeling that America is going to be very lucky to get out of it without a major... I'll just say it. If there's no civil war in the next 6 months, I would consider us lucky, because things are right on the brink of that. And, I can't participate, and I'm not advocating for it, but people are mad. Go talk to the people in North Carolina right now who are struggling to rebuild their communities after they were wiped off the face of the earth, and the government is down there actively trying to stop people from helping them. The government's not only refusing to help these people, but they're actively trying to block others from stepping in to help. I mean, that's a powder keg waiting to explode. And the people of North Carolina, especially the mountain folk like that, they don't take kindly to being treated like that. I can tell you that from experience and just from my knowledge and from people I know in my life. They're not going to put up with that shit for a long time. But, everybody's struggling right now. Everybody watching this video, I know all of you are struggling to some extent. And for right now, it seems like I'm going to be stuck using a bicycle for transportation for the foreseeable future. And so right now, I'm a little bit obsessed with making that as efficient, low risk, safe, and enjoyable as possible. And I have spent, because some of the money came in from this job and from my freelance projects and everything else, I spent a little more money on cycling and cycling related gear over the last month than the other categories. But I'm very close to where I would consider myself good to go. There's always going to be another tool, another accessory, another part that needs replaced, etc. But keep in mind that every time I cycle 5, 10, 20 miles to get somewhere and back, it's money that I'm not spending on gasoline, insurance, or wear and tear on a car right now. And the more I can do that after I get a new vehicle, and the fact that Houston seems to have weather that supports year-round cycling, you know, I'm going to be able to make whatever vehicle I get in my hands last longer because I won't have to drive everywhere all the time. And so with that, you know, part of going through my camera equipment, you'll see in this video, this edited video, that I got my GoPro cameras out and working. Yeah, my crazy commute even got crazier lately because they took away the shoulders on one of the main roads that I used to get back and forth, and that road was crazy to begin with. And one morning on my way into work, all of a sudden I was pointed off to the side of the road and there's no more shoulder. And what used to be the shoulder of the road is now a lane where cars are flying by me at 65 miles an hour, coming 6 inches from my shoulder as they pass me. And so that was a little bit disconcerting, and I'm finding other ways to get to and from without having to go down that road while this construction project is going on. But you know, it's just another inconvenience in a long list of inconveniences that I'm just going to have to deal with while I'm getting back on my feet, and it is what it is at that point. I'm an Amazon affiliate now, and so I'm going to put a complete list of links to my bicycle equipment and things that I currently use in any video description that talks about bicycles and probably some other things. And I'll probably even put a playlist together on my channel and 4 videos where I specifically talk about bicycling, because I'm riding more than 50 miles a week as it stands right now. It's 10 miles a day, 50, 60 miles a week as it stands right now. And at some point that number might climb up to 100 to 200 miles per week at some point. But I would need to increase the distance between my current address and whatever job I'm cycling to in order to increase that distance, because I'm so busy outside of work right now that I don't have any fun reasons to go out and ride a bike. If I'm riding my bike, it's because I have to get somewhere. And so that's kind of nice that I'm getting the exercise that comes with that. But right now, once again, on my time tracking sheet, before today, I've already clocked in 72 hours of work this week of being productive, be it at the bakery or doing freelance jobs or just organizing and doing things that I track my time with. And, you know, 70 hours a week of working and sitting in a chair getting work done, it's hard to find a reason to go out and ride a bicycle or do much else for fun. But, you know, that's just the way it is right now, and I'm just grinding, and I'm focused on trying to put a life back together. So until life starts to kind of fall into place, until the income situation improves, and until some other things fall into place, that's just what it's going to be. And so I'm going to keep doing these videos, hopefully once a week. Hopefully I can go through all the footage that I shot this week of my bicycle commutes and, you know, doing some of the repairs and just some of these random things and string it all together into a decent video. I might have to put it out tomorrow on Monday instead of today, which is Sunday. But whatever happens at this point. I'm not holding myself to any arbitrary deadlines when it comes to this, but right now, it really does look like all I have is about 1 day a week to sit down and do video chats with you all. And if that means that the channel grows slower and takes longer to get going, so be it. But once again, if you want to help support this channel, I have a feeling that I will put a few links in Amazon for Amazon products in the description below. And the thing is, if you click on those just to see how I'm outfitting my bicycle for now, You don't have to buy anything to help out the channel. If you shop on Amazon at all, and you click on somebody's Amazon affiliate link to go to Amazon, there's a certain amount of time that takes place where if you buy anything from Amazon during a certain amount of time after clicking on a link in my description, then I will get a percentage of whatever you bought from Amazon, even if it's not anything that I'm linking you to. That's how the Amazon affiliate program works, and you'll see a lot of YouTube channels do that. And I'm going to use it for doing product reviews. I'm going to go through the stuff on my bicycle, why my bicycle is set up the way it is, why I have what I have, and the products that I'm using, and I'm just going to go through and talk about them all. And then I'm going to use the Amazon affiliate links to show you how to get whatever it is for yourself if you like something. I have a couple of reviews that aren't going to be good for some of these products. I'm going to tell you the good and the bad. I'm not getting paid by any sponsorship. I'm just sending you a link to a product that you can go look for yourself, and I'm going to be honest whether I like the product or not. But if you click on the link to the product and go buy something else, Amazon tracks those affiliate links and pays the people that sends those people to Amazon. I forget how many days it is, but it's a certain number of days from the time you click on the link to the time you buy something from them. And anything that you buy from Amazon counts towards that reciprocal affiliate link that brought the person to Amazon. So I don't think I'll make more than $10 in the span of a year being an Amazon affiliate, to be honest. The YouTube income has gone way down. It's probably going to be a few more months before I earn enough to get another $100 payout, if I'm lucky. But, you know, you never really know what's going to happen, and I just don't have the time to do daily video updates right now, and so my channel is taking a hit for that reason alone. And with that, I'm just going to let you guys go. I have a lot of stuff I need to finish up today. Today is bicycle maintenance day. I got to go through the whole bicycle top to bottom, give it a cleanup, give it a quick tune-up, fix a few things that are in my power and tool set to fix, and I got to make a list of the next, I got to get a couple of tools to fix some of the other things that are popping up. But, you know, this bike hasn't been, I haven't done any, this bike sat for about 5 years without being ridden. All I did was put air in the tires and make sure everything was tweaked and adjusted before I started commuting to work. And now I've put 150 or more miles on the bike, and things are starting to reveal themselves that need tweaked. And so I'll just deal with that one at a time. I got to get, you know, this tool or that tool and some other things, and I'm just going to take it one day at a time. God has put the ability to do it right in front of me. He's given me the means to do so. And so I'm going to do so because, you know, having a well-maintained, solid bicycle that's ready to go at a moment's notice, even when let's just say they called an evacuation order for Houston, and because of a hurricane or something like that, I can get a lot farther on a bicycle than I can in a car when you're stuck on a highway clogged in traffic going 1 mile every 2 hours. So I can get on that same highway with a bicycle and go 50 miles in a span of 3 hours. And so I'm just gonna, you know, one day at a time, one step at a time, one thing at a time, and hopefully next week maybe I'll be able to mix up the topics with some other topics, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.